at
Yeah.
regulating and
Well,
to
speaking
doing
of
something about
cancer,
that.
there are, benefits to medical marijuana.
Can I ask you? You're saying that it's spreading like crazy. Is that in your eyes? Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
It's a bad thing.
Okay, why is it? What I agree, but why is it bad?
I'm going to go to the bathroom.
Under the district, well, I think it's just socially bad. So it would be bad for the social health and welfare of the people of the United States.
Okay, why is
create
it
the social
socially bad?
contagion.
Because it's hurting other people and the people
Not
that are
just
smoking
because-
it, right?
I don't think it's just a matter of hurting people. That's where you and I might deviate. I think when we're talking about social goods or social bads, we're talking about what do we want to see as a social norm for society. So inside of society, I don't want to see people stoned out of their fucking mind when they're driving. I don't want to see people going up to pot dispensaries where there's security guards and walking out with joints. I don't want to see people shooting up with needles on the sidewalk. Even if that doesn't actually directly affect me, even if that's hundreds and hundreds of miles away, I don't want a reflection of that socially in my society.
But technically people aren't allowed to like drive and smoke though. Like technically, like if you get pulled over and it's like a DUI but for marijuana and stuff, you're not even allowed to do that. Like drive.
Sure, but you're contributing to people doing it with mass legalization of marijuana.
Yeah,
And
I
that
see
is
what
the
you're
case.
saying.
Can I ask, do you drink alcohol?
Sure.
Okay, so
I'm drinking a beer right now.
So
Am I driving?
do you think that? So do you think that alcohol and marijuana are different?
Yeah, I think
Like, do you
that
think the
alcohol,
law should be different, and if so,
yeah,
why?
So alcohol is completely enriched in American culture. It's part of the social identity of Americana. Our founding fathers, if you looked at the receipts of their party after the Constitution, it would make one of these fucking block parties in Santa Barbara, it would make all the kids there cry because of how much liquor they drank. That's what, in fact, they substituted water with alcohol often because
I
water
did
can
hear
be
that
brackish
before.
and poisonous. Alcohol is so entrenched in the American identity that when Prohibition was around, it was basically one of the first amendments that we actually repealed and got rid of as quickly as possible. I mean, it had a very short span because of the social identity which comes with it. Alcohol is a part of the culture, of the very fabric of the culture that's here. Marijuana's not, and never has been.
I feel
Okay,
like
so cultural difference, but
Yeah, there's massive cultural distinctions in how these things play a part. Could you make the argument that alcohol kills way more people than marijuana? Yeah, I would agree that that's true. Probably kills more people than probably any other drug that's out there. I would agree with that too. But I also think that there's a distinction in the culture and what we know that where it's okay to do and what's not okay to do. And the fabric of going to like a honky-tonk bar in the South at 9 o'clock and drinking till 1 a.m. with your buddies in the local pub. That's an entrenched part of American culture, right down to the fabric of my daddy drink at this same pub. So I don't think you're going to easily disassociate that from the culture. But yeah, the major take here away isn't just the aspect of culture, but remember that there's a lot of stigma around alcohol. There's stigma around alcoholics. There's major social stigma. That's part of the social responsibility that comes with alcohol. Nobody likes alcoholics. They have interventions. They have billboards everywhere saying don't drink and drive. They do all. Where's all that shit for OnlyFans? Anywhere? Is there a billboard saying don't let your daughter do OnlyFans? Is there don't there's don't drink and
I've
drive?
never seen that
There's
billboard.
no stigma for these other social plagues. There's only stigma for this social plague, and it's like, okay, look, it seems to me that it's absurd, kind of on its face, to be like, look, we have all the stigma towards alcohol, even though it's an entrenched part of the culture, but no stigma towards any of these other social ills and societal ills, and that's just fucking crazy to me.
it's quite.
I think it's cyclical. So like, for example, alcohol, like it was on the rise. Everyone was drinking. Like it wasn't really that big of a deal, and then they stigmatized it, and not use went down, but we started looking at alcoholics as
Using it more
bad and
responsibly.
sick. And then same thing happened with cigarettes. Same thing happened with vapes. So vapes went up and now they're going down. And honestly, I think the same thing is going to happen with this industry is everyone's kind of going up. A lot of people are doing it, and then we're going to start stigmatizing it, and people are starting
I feel like
And what happens with stigma? Law.
what would you consider like right?
I
though?
also don't think that this is going to get outlawed. because a lot of the people using it are the
think it
people that
will.
would be voting on it.
But what do you think?
it
So
will.
what do you think that is like a right thing? So you're saying like to do OnlyFans is wrong. Like what would you say is a right thing to do? Because I feel like it really comes to what people's, for example, like we were talking about, everyone does have different morals, but then I feel like like what makes that wrong? Like for me, like for example, she enjoys it. So is that wrong for her? No, it's not, because she enjoys doing it.
You can enjoy a lot of things that are bad for
She
you.
enjoys doing it, yet she admits that it's evil. I mean, how can you enjoy doing something that you believe is evil?
Hang on.
People
Back
can
up.
enjoy
Should-
Fendi, and
You
it's
know, I
horrible
don't
for
even think you
you.
believe this. Should you just do things that make you feel good?
No, not all the time, but I
Why?
feel like
Why
if
not?
it's something,
Hang on, why not?
well, because I don't know, like you don't always have to do everything that you like to do, but I'm just
Well, I
saying
know you
if
don't
you're
have to, but why shouldn't you? Why shouldn't you just always do things that make you feel good?
Well, I mean, if you can make like a living off of it, and it's like something that you're like using instead of going to like an 8 to 5, a 9 to 5, freaking working for somebody else. That's just not even considering like how you
Yeah, but why
are as a
shouldn't you just
person.
only, hang on.
Why
shouldn't
don't you
just
find a
only do
talent,
things
something that
make
you
feel
enjoy
good?
doing, a job that you really love, that isn't 9
Hang on,
to
this
5?
is all a deviation. Wait. This is all a deviation.
Sorry, Andrew.
Why shouldn't you only do things that make you feel good?
Because they can be morally corrupt.
I'm asking her. Why do you think that you shouldn't just do everything that makes you feel good?
Well, I feel like at the end of the day, like you can do what you want. Like if that's what makes me feel good, then I feel like I can do that.
So then you
It's a
should only do
choice.
things.
It's a
So then
choice,
you
yeah.
should, so then you should do things that make you feel good, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so what if somebody died and donated their body to a necrophiliac to have sex with, and it made the necrophiliac feel good?
Well, that's not
Is
me
that-
though, so that's not like
Yeah,
I
know
wouldn't
it's
have
not you,
anything to
but-
say
but-
about
But
that.
you wouldn't have, hang on.
Wait,
you
so
wouldn't
you'd
have
be
any
okay with
objection.
that?
No, I'm
Just
not
let me
saying
finish
that
the
I'd be
question.
okay
Let
with
me
that.
Finish the question. Let me finish the question. So, a guy dies, donates his body to a necrophiliac, and it makes the necrophiliac feel good, right? Why shouldn't he do that?
Well, because that's wrong, but I'm not saying what I'm
Why?
doing is
Why
wrong.
is it
I
wrong
don't
if it
think
makes
that
him
doing
feel good?
OnlyFans is wrong.
Why
So,
is it wrong if it makes him feel good?
well, because it's that's different though. It's different. I'm not doing things that are hurting other people or being
Who's this guy
disgusting
hurting? Who's he
or
hurting?
doing that.
Who
like
is he hurting?
he's hurt. That's literally if you're doing that to somebody, that's still hurting
You're
them.
not
They
doing
still
that
were
to
a
somebody.
person.
They're dead.
That
They're
still was a
dead.
person though. So
They're dead. Yeah,
my
donated
choice
their
of
body.
feeling
Hang on,
good isn't
They
doing things to other
donated-
people.
They donated their body to him to do it.
Okay, well, I don't know about that, so I have nothing
You
to
don't
say
know?
for that.
You don't know if that's wrong?
Well, yes, it's wrong, but
Why?
I'm saying that
Why is
that's
that wrong if it makes him
consent.
feel good?
that's not.
The
he
body's
said
not consent,
he
right?
They donated.
It's
to the
disrespectful
person.
to the family of the person
It
who's
can't- how
passed
can it be
away.
disrespectful?
Well, I would hope
He
no
has
one would do
family.
that,
He has
so-
no family.
Well, people do
He has
that.
zero
I know, but
family.
that is wrong. But I'm not doing that, so
Yeah, but why is it wrong though? If it
because
makes him
it's
feel good?
disgusting.
Because-
And that's fucking
okay,
terrible?
then I agree. Because it's disgusting. So OnlyFans is disgusting?
No.
Therefore, it's wrong.
I don't feel like it's disgusting, but that's like I said,
Well, I mean,
different opinions.
as long as it's disgusting and that's what makes it wrong, I could use that argument against homosexuality. I could use that argument against OnlyFans. I could use that argument against anything that I find disgusting. I could just say it's wrong. It's morally wrong, right?
And that's his opinion, and he's entitled to that.
That's what I'm
opinion
saying.
and
Yeah,
that
exactly.
belief.
Everybody
Well,
has
no, that
different
wouldn't even be my
opinions.
opinion. That would just be a logical breakdown. So
Okay.
if it is the case that things that make you feel good are right, if I give you this scenario where this thing makes this guy feel good, he's not hurting anybody else, tell me why it's wrong.
I think it's just everybody's opinion is that
That's just
it's
not right.
everybody's opinion that this is wrong. So it'd be individual.
Just
But
it's
if
just
you're
all
wrong,
different
is it
people's
your
opinion. Because some
opinion
people probably would say that isn't wrong, and those people are weird. But I'm saying that is wrong. But it's like it's just a choice of what other people perceive.
Yeah, I know you keep saying it's wrong, but if I go off your standard of do what makes you feel good, right? Because that's how you know something's right.
But
then
I'm not
this-
hurting anybody in the process.
Neither is he. Neither is he. Who's he hurting?
He's hurting the family.
What if
of
the family
of the
okay with it?
deceased.
Somebody has no family.
Oh, Daddy Brian.
yeah, baby. That's a way to change the conversation.
Holy crap! I'm scared of
Sorry, it was in response. But then I saw it was no champagne.
that?
Jungleff donated $1,000.
There's a fucking dent in the
It's not
ceiling.
an outfit that makes you gross. No champagne, Brian. None. Jeff,
Wait, what does it
how
say?
many genders did they
I
teach you
popped
there?
it before I saw
What
the no
about
champagne
rest of
pop.
the table?
Oh my
How
God.
many? Darth Andrew destroy them.
This
Well, I
guy
just
is a
want-
legend.
I do just want to quickly finish. I'm almost done, Brian.
All right.
He keeps trying to change it.
Because this one, this is really important that you guys understand this, or at least where I'm coming from here.
Yeah.
right?
I'm listening.
Let's say that a person was alive who his dream after he died was to donate his body to some guy to have with it after he was dead. That's his dream. That's all he thinks about all day. That he loves the very idea of this. And then he dies and donates his body to some other guy, and that guy does that every single day.
Well, it's like
That
a-
would be
Hang on,
his
hang on,
choice.
hang on, let me finish. I just want to know if there's no family, there's no objections, there's no nothing, why would that be wrong?
Well, what if, it's like no one like talks about what if this, what if that. Like, I don't know that this isn't something that's reality right now that I could see in front of me, so I have no answer for that, to be honest with you,
Why would
because
it-
it's a
wait, no,
what if
I'm sorry.
opportunity.
Is somebody getting in front of you right
No,
now?
so both of them are consenting to that, right? The guy that
That's
passed
right,
away
they're both
is
consenting
consenting,
to it.
and the other guy's consenting. So
Yeah.
in their world, in their minds, they are not doing wrong, right? It would
All
be
right, but in your mind, are they doing wrong?
in
Yes.
my mind, yes, but that's my
Why, though?
opinion.
Why?
I
have no clue.
I
You don't
think
know?
I think
You don't
again
know why?
this
Just
this
randomly.
becomes a society thing and society's
that's a lot.
opinions, and that's why so
don't be
many
thinking
people
about
think
things like that,
OnlyFans
honestly.
is wrong. I'm
Now
not.
you understand, though, why
Yeah.
it is
Yeah.
that if it is the
Hunting yourself
case
up.
that I get society on my side to say OnlyFans is wrong and we outlaw it, you can't really have any objections to it. Because what you just did was you described that morality comes from the masses. And if that's the case, then any time a person like me can sway the masses into prescribing something which is bad for you, you can't object to it.